The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
All right, what is up, fight fans? We are back for another episode of Combat Deviants here live on Belly Up Sports. I'm your host, as always, Stephen Rochelle. A little bit of lineup change, little bit of change up to everything. Crazy weekend in sports in general, NFL draft, NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, a lot of stuff going on in the combat sports world, bare knuckle boxing, and by the way, my guest joining me to the right is Miss Jamie Little Ken Milanowski. Been some time, after I scheduled the interview because I seen you had a fight lined up. I'm like, wait, has it been freaking 3 years?
Actually,
it's been 3 years since you've been in or almost a little bit longer than that in active competition.
Oh yeah.
What is kind of taking you away from the game for some time, and why are we back now? Was it June 25th or 27th? I think we're back, right?
May 27th. Yeah.
Yes, May 27th. I got the wrong month. That's my bad.
But yeah, so I retired from MMA and I joined the Army. So there was no time to train, and I was at a pretty active
What
duty
branch
state.
were you in?
Army.
Just in the Army. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, infantry. So yeah.
What spawned that decision to go be a member of our armed services?
Well, I just kind of, I don't know. I think I just got drained with MMA, and I was getting older. Well, still getting older. And I just wanted to go back to school, do something else. And the Army provides all that. So I decided to do that.
You there. That's a smart move on that end, especially if we're trying to further our grow our mind or further the education. Why not you use those wonderful grants they give us?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are you going back to school for? What is kind of the next route, the next road after combat sports drains the extra energy out of our life?
Psychology. Mm-hmm.
Something we need in this world. So good psychologists, because mental health is a thing in this country that people would just want to act like it isn't.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm hoping to stay in the Army still. I'd like to do a full 20 and, work with the behavioral health side of the Army.
That's like I said, it's something we need. We need more people to kind of want to fill those roles, because we live in a strange time to have people actually want to be involved in our government, our military, etc. So
Yeah.
it's good to see some people still actually care what goes on in the United States. And obviously, taking some time off, what do you feel like are some of the biggest changes you've seen in the combat sports world? Not necessarily just in MMA. Like, we've literally seen bare knuckle boxing kind of really explode over the last 3 or 4 years. What are your thoughts on that? Seeing BKFC, BYB, Valor Fights, BKB. There's bare knuckle all over the world right now.
I'll be honest, I haven't been paying attention. I also don't really give a shit. I've just been focused on the Army, and when I relocated to Fort Benning in Georgia, I just kind of joined just to do some jiu-jitsu. I really want to just kind of focus on getting my purple belt and just kind of doing it for the fun of it. But I found Against the Grain with Coach Dirk, Tim Ferriss, and all those guys, and I kind of fell back in love with the sport and remembered why I originally started MMA. And, sitting down with Dirk, I told him when I first got to the gym, I was like, I'm not fighting. I have no plans on coming back. I don't want to do it. All I want to do is just kind of train and just do it for fun. Like, that's
Meanwhile,
it.
they have their devilish plans to get you fall in love with it all over again.
They were very respectful of it. They didn't push anything on me. They just appreciated that I was there and working with the other fighters. And it was probably like 3 months. And I called
The
Dirk.
bug took you over. The bug took you over.
Yeah, I called him. I was like, you know what? I need a fight. I want to do it again. And he was like, say less. So, we sat down and talked about it. And, I signed with Warfighter Management and we found a fight. So it's that easy. But I really think that if it was any other gym, I wouldn't have wanted to come back. But because of who I train with, who my coaches are, my management, like that's what really, brought me back to the sport and competing again. And it's been good. So I'm enjoying it.
Take the love that you have for while you have it. And typically fans don't get this. It's not generally the love for the competition. It's the camaraderie in the gym room that kind of really feeds that bug, because you see this one's getting ready for a fight, this one's getting ready for this tournament. You want to help them do that, and then you see how well they're doing. Like, you know what? I want to taste that rush again. I want to get back in there, see what's left in me. And you see this a lot of times. It's not just fighters like Jamie. I mean, hell, because of Dana White's madness in the slap boxing stuff. We just seen Tim Sylvia last weekend, and the rumor is he's getting it now because he won. He's dragging Mark Coleman out of retirement. They're gonna have a slap boxing fight. I'm like, what is it? It's just sometimes that's all it is. It takes getting healthy again, getting back in that gym, getting into a routine, and seeing everyone what's going on around you. It's like, you know what? I want to do something.
Yeah. It's really just, I trust my coaches. I trust the people I'm around. And it's just doing it for fun now is much different than before, where it was just, I'm doing this for a career. I'm doing this because this is how I get paid. And it became an obligation and it became draining.
Sometimes
And
when it becomes the job, it becomes something you dread. But when you turned it back into the hobby again, it became something that you were passionate about again. It's weird how that happens sometimes.
Yeah. And what I do in the Army kind of coincides with MMA. So, everyone I work with is also on board and, takes part in my fight camp, and my coaches are a part of my job in the Army. So it all just makes sense. And the support I have really is, much greater than what I've ever had before. So, I'm grateful for that.
It's sometimes all it takes is a little time away from things, also like getting the right people, the right situation. I say it so much, like when sometimes like you see some of these fighters peak so early on, and I'm like, they're gonna burn out. And it's funny how sometimes fighters can't get anything to work right in the beginning of their career, but as they get older and later on in their career, everything just sort of like falls into place.
Yeah. I agree.
Sometimes it does take being that veteran to getting in there, going through some of those situations, and then finally you find this self-appreciation of everything, and that timing of everything works out. The timing of getting fights together, the timing of how things get put together inside the cage too. Like, there's so many different little nuances that kind of works out sometimes. And it's just interesting to see. Like I say it all the time. People talk about other sports. Oh, football's a game of inches. I'm like, have you ever seen the combat sports world? It's literally the ultimate game of inches.
Yeah.
Except sometimes we're playing with our consciousness, our limbs, things of that nature.
True.
Now, like I know you said you don't pay much of the craziness going on in the world, at least combat sports. Have you seen the new trend as the influencer of combat sports? You know, as we have the Jake Pauls of the world and stuff like that.
I mean, I've heard the name, but I don't really know. I'll be honest.
That's all right.
All I
I'm with you. Like I still won't
Right.
consider him anything legit until he fights somebody serious.
Mhm.
Like all right, he's having these fights that he's putting on, but Jake walks around at like 215, 205 pounds, and he's picking on these older UFC welterweights. I think it's funny.
Yeah. I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, I know you don't. It's all right. When you do what you do, like it's like you have tunnel vision. It's like you only want you want to work on certain things. Like like you said, you've already your whole reason of being back here is structured around everything that you're doing in the army and things of that nature. So
Yeah. I mean, the only
can't be
fighter
that surprised. Go ahead.
now is obviously myself and my opponent. So that's where my focus goes, my time goes, and the rest is just time I don't
Well,
have.
why was it B2? Is that just the one that made sense at the time? You know, obviously, you know, you fought for King of the Cage, you fought for Invicta in the past and things of that nature.
hmm So B2 made sense because they had a show in Columbus and they had an opponent. And the other promotions we had that offered some, awesome ideas basically, but they didn't have any opponent for me. They we really were just going for whatever promotion had a ready opponent with a contract and it made sense. And that's what B2 offered. The location is good. It's where I'm stationed right now. And they had a girl ready to sign. So that's what we went with.
Kind of like the situation, like you're talking about great ideas and things of that nature. Just had Sam Alvey on last week, and he's been trying to get back into the fighting. Like we've heard about this promotion, that promotion, and he again is fighting for B2 fighting series at some point in time. I'm not sure if it's your card or a later card or whatever. I forget what date he said it was, but you know, he's getting ready to get back in there. And sometimes, like you said, it's it's not about this person or this idea or that idea. It's just when you actually have the name, date, contract, whatever things is situated, is that's typically what's going to happen, especially when we have fighters that free agents like yourself who can have that ability to basically fight where it makes sense for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just interesting to see, B2. A lot of these these smaller promotions are starting to get some more of these more talented fighters because of situations where this organization, great name, great, seen by a lot of people, but you're finding the situation. Well, we're waiting for this fight to happen to see who's the winner of this, and maybe you could fight the winner of that. Like we don't want maybes in the world. We want to fight now, right?
Yeah.
Now, being away for that long, what's kind of the one thing you want to do when you go out there? I mean, obviously, we don't have all these aspirations of making these big promotions, being the best fighter in the world. What do you want to show, your fans, your family members, etc. Of what's going to be laid out there for what's the ideal goal for this fight?
I think the ideal goal for this fight is just, I guess, a selfish ambition, doing this for myself just because I enjoy it. I don't necessarily have any huge aspirations like I once did, going to the UFC or making it big. For me now, it's just like I enjoy doing this. I enjoy the environment and having fun. And like I said, it's pretty selfish, but I have other teammates on the card as well. So I'm almost looking forward more so to their fights than my own. But, it's all fun at this point. I don't know. I'm just doing shit, man. I'm just,
Like I said, you don't have those great aspirations of doing those other things that once drove you, before the retirement at the end of 19 or in 20. It's one of those things where you're free of those pressures. So it's interesting to see what you want to accomplish, what you want to showcase. If there's anything that you actually want to put out there for even your teammates. Like I want to show you guys I can do this now. I can do that.
I think this thing is just representing against the grain in who I train with. Like that's the biggest flex, like showing what I've been doing and the team I've been growing with. So pretty good. Like I have a teammate, Hunter James. He's on the card as well. He's an amateur right now, but he'll be making his pro debut soon. So that's who I train with primarily. We also work together. So, like he'll be a really good fight to watch also on the B2 card, as well as Aaron Trey. He'll be there. And he's also amateur, fairly new. I think this is his second fight. So he's out there getting the experience. And that's the best part, like.
Oh yeah, I know it is. Like sometimes, like we love talking about our friends, our teammates.
Yeah.
What our goals and aspirations for them are. Like, do you any one of the guys you just named? You think 3-4 years from now we could be seeing their names in the Bellator, PFLs, UFCs of the world?
Absolutely. Oh yeah, and they're young too. Like Hunter's maybe early 20s. Trey is 20. So, these are young guys coming in and, they're athletes, like they're ready to work. So I'm looking forward to it.
I always look forward to.
I'm
yeah. So we're looking for, yeah, exactly. We're phasing out now, everyone that we used to love watching as we were coming up, they're starting to, have their retirements and they're opening their gyms and they're doing these things. So it's always fun to look at the next generation. It's why, this for how long I've been doing this. I always love talking, not just the UFC fighters, not just but the amateurs, the guys and girls coming up through the ranks, because you never who those fighters can have eventually turned up to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, I know you don't pay attention to much, but are you a general sports fan at all? Are you paying attention to the draft this past week, the yesterday or anything?
I don't know shit about that. Draft of what?
I love it.
Like
the NFL draft for this coming season was started last night. I was wondering if you happen to have any hometown love with the being in the Ohio area there. Maybe you were paying attention to what was going on with Cincinnati or Cleveland. I don't know.
Oh, no idea.
It's just the Army in the gym, right, my friend?
Do what?
I said it's just the Army in the gym. That's it, right, my friend?
Yeah, that's all I have time for.
So wait, that's all we have time for? We have no time for life in general? There's not a certain gentleman that twinkles your eye, nothing? There's no time for any of that?
Oh, absolutely not.
I love it. Hey, listen, we're always so wrapped up in our goals, our hobbies. Sometimes that's how it goes. Sometimes, like
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I spend so much time worrying about stuff like this, and then my son, my family is like immediately next after that. But always try to keep in tune with everything because he keeps me busy. I was gonna say that much.
For sure. I couldn't imagine, doing what I do now and having kids. Like no time.
Listen, it even gets to the point where like even like I'm looking for employment because the way my single dad part works out, like I have to look for certain jobs that only I can only work here to here. So it's like everything becomes more of a hassle. I mean, I wouldn't not wish my life without my kids, but sometimes it just makes things even harder. But wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah.
We all find calmness in the madness at times, no matter what.
Yeah. Exactly.
All of us who can manage to juggle that. I mean, I guess that's why my hair runs off my head like it's on fire, but that's besides the point.
I got this long.
See, that's why I got hair envy. Jamie's got this head full of hair. My mind's sitting here running away from me.
Yep.
Now, Cheyenne's the opponent, right?
Yes.
So,
Chyanne. Mm. Or I think she goes by Shy.
Yeah, she's one of these upcoming girls. Are you going to be excited to share the cage with her and do your thing when it comes down to time to it? Sometimes some people it's just a name. Have you checked out any of her fights? Are there anything that you're looking that she might do or that you're ready for or anything like that?
I've checked out her fights, of course. I mean, I'm not going to go in there blind and stupid, but I'm excited. I think the hardest thing for me now, having so much experience in the fight game, I'm at the point where it's like, okay, I'm meeting another woman who does MMA. Like, I want to be her friend, but obviously, after the fight,
After the fight, yeah, after I get my hand raised, you're my best friend in the world. I promise you.
right. But it's like, I've never been the fighter that talks shit or has all this animosity. Like, I don't need to hate you to fight you, Like, I got enough trauma I can bring to the cage and take out.
I hear
Well,
you there. Life gives us enough pain to kind of bounce off of when it comes to that stuff. So yeah, I hear you.
yeah. But, she's a solid fighter, so I'm excited. And I think it'll be good. Like, she she has good stand up to where she kind of like she's unpredictable in a sense where like she'll switch her stance, and she pressures really hard, she works to the cage, and those are all things to for me to prepare for. She also just fought Anna Crutchfield. I hope I'm saying that right. She actually joined SBG when I left SBG and joined the army. So, a little bit of that is kind of like, I guess making me want to fight her a little more just because, I grew up with SBG. Like, that's where I fought out of. And my girl Anna, who I didn't get to train with, but she's affiliated with where I once trained, she got beat, unfortunately. And so I'm like, all right, I'm coming in hot. Like, you can't take SBG out and expect.
It's about honor now. It's not even I have a disdain for you. It's like I got to get that win back for my team.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I spent a lot of time in that gym with, that team. And I don't know, it's all respect. Like, I don't train there anymore, obviously, but, Chris Conley, like, he really brought me up in MMA, and, you know, like, all respect. So.
Yeah, we always have a special place in our heart from some of those gyms that we have attachments to. Like, I just had Jamie Driver on here Wednesday. My kids used to train at Henzo Gracie when she was there before she moved down to Florida. So every time she has to have a fight, I try to get her on, check in with her, see how she's doing. She's got a big fight for bare knuckle. They're fighting for their belt. May 13th. So I know what you mean, like how you have that kinship with that gym. Like every
Right.
time one of the guys from Henzo fight, I always try to reach out to them and see if we can get them on talking about their fight. You always want to show that team love. It don't matter if you're still currently attached to them or you've got all kind of move on and doing your own thing. You still kind of reach out to say, hey, what's going on? Oh, you got a fight coming up. Best of skill to you. Hopefully, you rip that that girl guy's heads off, arm off, whatever however you're beating them that night.
Yeah. And kudos to Shy too for taking the fight. Like, it wasn't even a week after her fight with Anna that she signed the contract to fight me, and I was like, holy shit, like, this girl's going back to back.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Go get her. Let's get it.
I did that before and it sucks. So, she's a resilient one,
But that's
Go
also one of
back.
those ones why one of those fights you want to take because it's like you also want to pick their brain afterwards. Like, yeah, what are you trying to like soak up as many fights as you can? Are you trying to level up, or what are you trying? Where are you trying to go after this one?
Well, I think for me in the past, like when I would take fights back to back, it was really just like, I'm healthy, I'm in shape. So there
Why
was no
not? Right?
stopping that. you know? And it was like, yeah, I can just jump back into camp and keep it going. But over time, it, really weared on my body, my brain, all types of things. So, you know, I'm sure she's being smart with her career. I'm not going.
Oh yeah, we're not gonna dissect her choices and things of that
Right.
nature. Like I said, like we see it a lot, especially in women's MMA, where girls will take fights back to back to back, etc. Because
Also, we got fucking bills to pay, and that's how we
well,
make.
one, you got bills to pay, but also like you're not at the point where it has the growth that you quite would like to see across the sport. I mean, had like from Ronda Rousey and Liz Carmouche to where we are now, absolutely has grown leaps and effing bounds, right? Would
Yeah.
still like to see more. Would like to see some more development in the featherweight, lightweight, or welterweight divisions, whatever you want to call that, for some of these fighters to actually have development. As we're talking about your weight class, you go and look at BKFC. Christine Ferrieri basically has no one to fight down there anymore. She's beat up every poor girl in their weight class, and she doesn't really have anyone to fight now. So it's like one of these things where it's grown a lot, but it's still, I still think we are where the UFC was real early in 2000, where you still need to build more, you still need to develop more, you still need to get more of these girls involved, women involved, however you want to have it, on a larger scale. I mean, right now you're looking at some of the bigger names in the sport. Amanda Nunes is about to leave, right? So like you're at a really important time where you need stars to kind of pop up and really kind of take the reins into the next chapter. Hopefully, we just seen Grasso take the title. Maybe she's someone that can take it to that next level. As far as what we're talking about, the bigger promotion in the UFC, I think as a whole, there's a whole lot more opportunities in women's mixed martial arts. I mean, we were talking about Invicta earlier. I think they just announced the first time they're going to have a all women promotional team, announcement team. So that should be fun.
Yeah.
Always good to see the opportunities going everywhere and continue to see not only combat sports and MMA grow, but the women's combat side of it continue to grow.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're seeing crossing over athletes. Amanda Serrano's been a big boxer. She's taken MMA fights in the past. We've, Clarissa Shields. She's had a few PFL fights, mainly a world boxing champion. But it's fun to start seeing some of these athletes cross over, into each other. I guess it's one of the things that we're seeing moving forward as this next generation of combat sports. But as we get ready to wrap it up, Jamie, as I typically always do, throw the proverbial microphone over you. And you want to like to thank training partners, teammates, shoot out your social media sites, any sponsors you might still have. Give them some love. The time is yours as always, my friend.
Oh, I got a list. All right. So number 1, we have Kalines Mixed Plate here in Columbus, Georgia. Brant Industries, Freebird American Apparel, Warfighter Sports Management, Ferris Fight Customs, Luxury Car Rental, and of course myself, Lil Cannon 4 on Instagram, Jamie Cannon Milanowski on Facebook. Tune in. May 27th is the fight. It'll be here in Columbus at Ironworks. I'll post a link on all my social media for y'all to tune in. And shout out to Against the Grain, of course. My team, my coaches. Hunter James will be on the card. My other teammate Trey will be on the card. So it'll be a stacked one. It'll be fun. So
Definitely, obviously, you're the second fighter back to back weeks that I'm hearing about B2. So I'm definitely going to be tuned in to see what's going on. Best of skill, my friend. Can't wait to see you finally get back in there, obliterate that quote unquote ring rust off you, and hopefully it's a victorious one. You get out there healthy, and who knows? Maybe we'll see you fight again this year, maybe multiple times. Who knows?
Oh, yeah, of course. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, it's always a pleasure, Jamie. Best of skill, my friend. Be safe. We'll definitely reach out again at some point in time. Have you back on. Talk some fight game. Have some fun.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, everyone. That was Jamie, the little cannon Milanowski. Obviously, again, as I said, a little bit of change up this week. Josh wasn't feeling himself, didn't make it on. Eric had some stuff that he had to address. I also got some stuff going on over on this end. The NFL draft, rounds 2 and 3 is also tonight. So guys, make sure you're checking that stuff out. Our Belly Up Sports affiliated stuff. It should be on YouTube. We already did the giveaway on Twitter last night. We did have one winner on Twitter correctly pick before the draft. I have to mention that because there was someone that was throwing out picks after the draft had started. But we are going to be doing some more stuff. I believe the Otis Nixon jersey will be doing a giveaway for the YouTube subscribers this month. Basically, what we're really going to need you guys to do is comment on your videos. Like, we already have a couple in here from tonight. Philly would be entered. My man Ryan would be entered. Aaron would definitely be entered because actually Ryan wouldn't be entered because that's a Facebook one. But Philly and Aaron would be entered into potentially being on the giveaway because they had made a comment on YouTube. We will be picking random comments from our YouTube videos, like this one, like some of the ones from the draft and some of the other shows that we have here on the Belly Up Sports Network. So, guys, make sure you're doing that. We'll be running some more giveaways, not just on Twitter, not just on YouTube, doing some stuff on Facebook. I'm going to be doing one just for one of the whoever I think is one of our more active fans at some point in time over the next few months. Going to be hitting you guys up, asking you guys for your shipping information to give back to you guys because you guys are always showing us some love. But wrapping this one up, putting a bow on it. Appreciate Jamie for her time tonight. We will be rescheduling Josh. We will be rescheduling Eric at some point in time in the next month. We will be having some more fun here on Belly Up Sports, and Cardcore Hobby Talk was back this week. We should be back next week, I believe, if not the following. Appreciate everyone for the love this week. 4 shows I already did this week. Hopefully, it'll be load to be a little bit lighter next week. But other than that, appreciate everyone for always showing love. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. All my friends hit me up showing me love, and appreciate my man Dan. He's been helping me out the last week or so. But again, make sure everyone is liked, subscribed, and following on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Belly Up Sports, Belly Up Media. You can also check me out on all the platforms as well. Other than that, this was episode 32 of Combat Deviants. I'm your host, Steve. We will be back.